Hey everyone, it's Laura from the blog hourlyhouse.com, and today's Cook With Me video, I'm going to be sharing with you a few spring dinner ideas. So the weather is starting to warm up, and so I'm trying to kind of transfer out of those stews and soups and casserole dishes. Now we'll definitely be eating soup still all through the spring and summer because I like to get a lot of bone broth into our diets, but I'm trying to think of some more fresh meals, especially when the garden starts producing and we have more fresh produce readily available. And so these meals I'm going to be sharing with you today are some of our favorite go-to meals when the weather starts to warm up and during the springtime. All right, so this first meal that I'm making is ham sandwiches. We love having things that are easy and on the go during the springtime because our schedule is a little bit busier. I had a huge ham in my freezer, and so I'm taking this and putting it in my roaster just to cook it through. Now, while my ham was in the roaster, I started some bread. So I'm making some no-knead sourdough bread with the crusty outside for my sandwiches. So I'm just mixing together some flour and water and some of my starter. Then I'm just going to let this rest and rise for a little bit. Now I'm doing the stretch and fold method. So every 15 to 30 minutes I come by and stretch the dough upward and then fold it in. And this is just making it to where I don't actually have to knead it. I just stretch and fold it about 6 times. So after the dough was worked, I let it rise overnight in the refrigerator. The next day, I removed it from the bowls, shaped them slightly, dusted them with flour, scored them with a knife because I don't have a razor yet. I need to get that. And then I'm actually making this in my Mise Dutch oven. So I love using this Dutch oven to make my bread because it cooks it very evenly and it gives it that nice crusty finish on top. So I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of flour in the bottom of the Dutch oven and then place the dough in the preheated Dutch oven. So I already preheated this at 500 degrees for about an hour, and then I'm going to stick this in the oven and bake it for about 20 minutes, and then I will remove the lid and bake it for another 25 minutes. Now, while the bread was baking, my ham was finished the night before and I put it in the refrigerator to cool, and I'm just going to slice the ham up. Now, this is going to make a lot of sliced ham, so we'll use this today to make some sandwiches, and then I'll also save some of this to put into some breakfast casseroles and maybe some other recipes just kind of throughout the week. But I like having a big ham on hand because it gives us a ton of meat. Once the bread was finished, I sliced it and then I assembled the sandwiches. One thing I really like about the Mise Dutch oven is that you can get a grill top lid. So you see here when I'm flipping it over, it has those grill tops. So I'm going to be using this actually in my next recipe. So I wanted to show you that because it is really awesome to have when it's raining outside during the springtime and we can't get outside to grill. We can just do it right inside over the stovetop. Another thing that I really like about this Dutch oven is that it's nice sized. My other Dutch oven's a little bit small for our family, so I like this one because it's bigger and I can fit more in it, which is obviously needed for a family of 7. And I like that you can cook anything in here. So you're gonna see, I'm gonna make a whole chicken in here. I can make my bread in here. I can use it to make bone broth. It's very versatile and I can use it for almost all of my cooking needs. if you're looking to add a Dutch oven to your kitchen, you can go to my link in my description box and use the promo code OurLyHouse for 20% off your first order. All right, so for the second meal I'm gonna share with you, I'm making some pork burgers. You'll notice that I'm using a lot of pork, and that's because we recently bought a whole hog from my sister's farm, and so that's just the meat that our freezer is full of. All right, so I'm just adding some seasoning into these pork burgers, and then I'm just going to patty them up. Now I'm going to slice up some potatoes into fries to bake while I'm cooking the rest of my meal. I will serve these pork burgers with some homemade potato fries. I drizzled the potatoes with a little bit of avocado oil and some salt and pepper, mixed them up, and then baked them in the oven for about 45 minutes on 400 degrees. So I'm using my Dutch oven lid here to fry these burgers up. So I just put it straight onto my stove, turned it on, and I'm putting the burgers on here. I always like to try to flip things only one time just so everything holds together nicely and it gives me those nice grill lines. While the burgers were cooking, I sliced up some tomatoes and onions and some lettuce to top our burgers with. I also made some homemade mayo with some oil, egg, lemon juice, and I'll be using this in a couple other recipes as well. For this next meal, I'm making chicken fajita wraps. So I'm starting off by cooking a whole chicken in my Dutch oven. So I'm just going to place the chicken in the Dutch oven, drizzle it with a little bit of avocado oil, and sprinkle it with some salt and pepper. I put the lid on this and baked it in the oven at 375 for about an hour, and then I removed the lid and cooked it for another 15 minutes at 400 degrees just to get it nice and crispy on top. I'm making some homemade sourdough tortillas to put the wraps in. So I'm just mixing together some flour and salt and some starter, and then I'm gonna let this rise all day, and then I will turn these into tortillas. Once the chicken was made, I removed the whole chicken from my Dutch oven and then I shredded it up. I'm using half of the chicken for these wraps and I'll use the other half of this chicken in my next recipe. I am dicing up some peppers and onions, and I'm going to saute these with the shredded chicken once it's cooked and out of the Dutch oven to stuff the wraps with. Once the tortilla dough had risen, I separated into 12 equal balls and then I rolled these out with my rolling pin and then fried them in a little bit of coconut oil on the stove to make my tortillas. I shredded some cheese, diced up some onions and tomatoes, and then I assembled the chicken fajita wraps. So this next meal I'm going to share with you is chicken salad lettuce wraps. The first thing I'm doing is chopping up some green onions and slicing some grapes in half. I'm using the rest of the chicken that we had left over from the whole chicken that I roasted in my Dutch oven. I'm going to mix in some of that homemade mayo and put some nuts in here. And then I'm going to put the chicken salad inside of a large piece of romaine lettuce. hope you guys enjoyed this video, and don't forget, if you are looking for a Dutch oven, you guys can check out the link in my description box below to see the Dutch oven that I used in several of these recipes, and you can use my code OurLilyHouse to get 20% off. So the link for that down in the description box below. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. I get out a brand new video every single Friday. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.